Good evening, Fernwood. My name is Neil, and you are joining me for day 23 of my trip through the entire series of the satirical soap opera Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. We are heading into February 4th, 1976's episode. I've got some things to talk about before we get in there because things got a little bit heavy last time, and I thought I'd set you up a little bit and maybe content warning this because, some heavy things may happen. The big plot points that have been ongoing. First, Tom and Mary's relationship is rocky, and it has really been since the beginning, but it continues to get deeper and deeper. Tom seems to have been experiencing some erectile dysfunction. That phrase is not used, but that's what has been implied. In his search for manliness, he has cheated on Mary. Mary is hurt by this when she figures it out. Mary then draws the line on their relationship, saying that the marriage is over, though Tom is supposed to sleep downstairs. Mary then cheats on Tom. She makes out with Sergeant Foley. Tom is hurt. The conversation between them is rough at best. They are not ready to talk about it. They're not equally ready to talk about it and come to terms with what is going on. And whenever they start to move forward, occasionally things get interrupted. Grandpa Larkin went on a date with his counselor, Roberta Walasek. He is missing now, and he's supposed to go to court, and if he doesn't go to court, he will go to jail. The topic that I wanted to spend a little bit of time on, because, this is not easy. As Loretta and Charlie were leaving town to move to Nashville, their car broke down. They were accosted by two hicks, and with Charlie at gunpoint, seemed to be suggesting some kind of sexual assault may be happening. It made me a bit angry at the end of last episode, so let's sort of unpack this a tiny bit. I promise that I am not the person to talk most intelligently or insightfully about this. My perception of the way sexual assault and rape were dealt with in the 1970s in soap operas was that it was seen more as a plot point than something that happened to a person. So maybe it was received differently in 1976 than it would be received now. And maybe it was treated differently in 1976 than it would be treated now. I'm not really sure about that, and I think seeing this episode may help to unpack some of the thoughts that are bubbling through my brain. If you have better insight than me about this conversation, I don't generally ask for comments or likes or anything on this show, and I'm still not asking, but if you have thoughts that you want to share, if you want to put them into the comment bar, I will, as long as the conversation stays respectful and kind, I will leave the conversation open because I think it's something worth discussing. If that doesn't happen, well, guess what? I don't get that many views on this show at this point anyway. That gets us ready for February 4th, 1976's Wednesday episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Wednesdays tend to be a day that a lot of things happen. Thank you for listening or watching if you are, and let's get started.
All right, sweet little lady. Let you and me just mosey over into them woods yonder. I know y'all are anxious to get on with your trip and all. We'll just get this over and done with. You are missing the best part of the day for driving. Take your hands off.
Charlie!
Oh, come on, Daddy. That's my best friend. Can't have you mess with him.
Oh, you shouldn't have made me pretty, Lord. It only leads to woe.
What'd you say? Say it again.
I said, you shouldn't have made me pretty, Lord. It only leads to woe. It's a country western song.
I knew that. It's one of my most favorites. How come you know that song?
Because I'm a country western singer.
On the level?
Yeah, we was on our way to Nashville where I'm going to be a superstar.
Man. Hey, you gonna go up there and talk to all them big shots and all up in Nashville?
Yeah, if I ever get up there.
What did you say about that? I wrote a song one time that could be a big #1 hit with Bud. Just get one of them big shots to hear.
You mean you're a country western songwriter?
Well, yeah. Maybe you could get them to hear it for me.
Well, maybe I could, you know, if I could get up there, but well, I don't know. It'd have to be real good because I'm real particular about my material.
It's good. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
1, 2. Oh, the poor little girl ran over. Hey, good. I mean, it's great, wasn't it? Oh, it's sure fire.
Great. I really like. Oh, that was great.
Will you sing it for them big shots up there in Nashville for me?
Sure. Yeah, if we could just, you know, get there. If we could get there.
It's got 6 more verses.
Right.
I'll sing them for you later on.
Right.
Well, don't just stand there, Mom. We gotta help these fine people. They never gonna get up there to Nashville. We don't get that fouled up radiator fixed.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, what are you doing home?
Well, I just came home for lunch.
You came home for, You never come home for lunch.
Well, I really didn't come home for lunch. I came home to talk.
What? What?
I came home to talk, Mary. Talk?
Oh.
Mary, I really gotta have a talk with you. Gotta talk.
Well, okay, talk.
Well, it's hard to talk to a person who doesn't talk back.
Well, you didn't say anything yet. I mean, why don't you say something and then I'll say something? I mean, if you want to have a talk, that's how you do it. So if you have something to say, say it. As you can see, I'm very busy right now.
Well, the least you could do is turn around and look at me, okay? Could you turn around and look at me, please?
Why did you do it? Why did you sleep with her? You ruined it. You ruined us. Can't you see that you ruined us?
Will you please just shut up, okay? Just shut up just for a minute so we can talk, okay?
You really want to have a talk?
Do I really want to have a talk? I really do.
Did you just say shut up to me?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
And you're really willing to dig down, you know, for as long as it takes to get to the very, very bottom of
Yeah,
this?
I am. I really am. I really am.
Oh, good. That's so good, Tom, because I really...
Oh, wait a minute. There's only one trouble.
What?
I gotta get back to work.
I thought you wanted to talk.
Well, I do want to talk, honey, but I only got 9 minutes. I mean, can we do it in 9 minutes?
9 minutes?
Yeah.
What were you expecting? To do the whole thing in 33 minutes? Look, Tom, now we have less than 7.5 minutes left.
Yeah. Look, we're gonna have to make an appointment, okay?
An appointment?
Yeah.
Okay, when?
Well, let's see. I got a union meeting after work tonight. Let's make it 7 o'clock, okay?
7?
Okay.
Okay, 7.
Okay, it's the date. 7
Okay,
o'clock.
fine.
You better
I'll
make
remember.
it.
It's a day.
You better make it.
Okay.
Okay. So what are you waiting for?
Well, I still got 5 minutes to kill. See?
D-I-R-T-Y. Dirty. Don't instill randy thoughts in the young.
Oh, Blanche.
Lance, do you have to do that here? Can't you give me a little room? Look, I have a very important basketball game coming up Saturday night. I have to finish diagramming these plays. Now, these are surefire.
How come your team hasn't won a game all season if your plays are so surefire?
You know, I have my suspicions. Something tells me some of my boys are breaking my rules against having intercourse during basketball season.
Hello? Hello? Jenny! Jenny, where are you?
Where is she?
Jenny, I am your mother. I demand to know where you are.
And I'm your
father. Just give me this phone. It's bad enough that you're a runaway hippie without my having to worry about what you're doing. We love you, Jenny.
I love you too.
We have always loved you. We've given you everything that we could. We have given you the finest and strongest moral support of any girl.
Stifling you? You stifled her.
I didn't stifle her. Maybe you
How can
stifled
you
her.
say that? Hello?
What's the matter?
Jenny?
I can see it.
Children might be a little more grateful if they knew what a woman has to go through to raise a child. Not to say anything of the horrors a woman has to go through just to become pregnant.
It's almost time for the hearing, and Grandpa's still not here. What are we going to do when the judge calls his case?
Well, you're just gonna have to tell him that he's missing.
I can't do that. They'll send the police out looking for him.
Isn't that what you want, Mom?
Oh, I'm so upset I don't know what I want. But if they find him, they might put him in jail, and if they don't, where is he?
All rise. Fernwood Municipal Court is in session. Judge Earl Clifford Stanley presiding. Be seated.
Is Raymond Larkin in court? Mr. Raymond Larkin?
Absent.
I beg your pardon.
Grandpa. That's my father. I mean, Raymond Larkin isn't here.
Now then, do you know any reason why your father is not present at this hearing today?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
What is the reason?
Well, I'm not sure of the reason, but I am sure that he would be here if there wasn't a good reason why he can't be here.
Mr. Larkin is your father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Does he live with you?
Yes, he did until last night anyway. There they are.
Mr. Larkin.
President accounted for your worship.
Miss Woloschek, I've read your report. It's one of the most enthusiastic and favorable, well, I'd say one of the most enthusiastic, favorable, and lengthiest reports I've ever read.
It's like 40,
Now
50
then,
pages.
Mr. Larkin, it's apparent that you are cooperating to the fullest extent with Miss Woloschek.
He doesn't know how full.
Since there have been no further incidents of antisocial behavior, and since the court has taken note of the most encouraging progress you have made in therapy, I will continue your probation for a period not to exceed 6 months, with the stipulation that you continue seeing Miss Woloschek regularly.
I object.
You object?
I'm sorry,
You
Your Honor.
object, madam?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yes. You may proceed.
The court is counting on you, Miss Woloschek. This is your case, and welcome to it. There will be a 5-minute recess till the hearing of the next case.
All rise.
We did it. Oh, Ma, you almost ruined everything.
Well, I think it's wrong that the judge sentenced Grandpa to that woman. After all, she had him out all night long.
But they're in love. Look, Ma, they're holding hands.
You want to go get some breakfast?
But Kathy, what do you think they do?
I mean, they do whatever the hell they want.
Hi, Dennis.
Hello, Mary. You left your shoe at my apartment yesterday.
Yes. I noticed when I got home.
I hope it didn't cause a problem with your husband.
Well, he asked some embarrassing questions.
Like what?
Where's your shoe?
I'm sorry. I would have brought the shoe with me to work today if I had known you were going to stop by.
Oh, I didn't know I was going to stop by until I got this.
But it's just a notice for you to appear at Davy Jessup's preliminary hearing. It's been captured, you know, and you're going to have to testify.
Against him? Oh, poor Davy.
Mary, he's a mass murderer. He murdered the entire Lombardi family, plus their 2 goats and 8 chickens.
I know, but aside from that, he's such a nice boy. I mean, there's so much tragedy going on in our neighborhood. So many people that I would like to do things for. Like, I would really like to do something for the Lombardis, only there aren't any Lombardis around anymore to do anything for.
Mary, let's talk about something else.
Like what?
When are you free to come back to my apartment to pick up your shoe?
Oh.
I'd like to see you again.
Is there someone in the room with us now that I'm not aware of?
No. I mean alone in private.
Well, I'm a little confused about that.
Me too.
I'm having certain upsetting marital difficulties. I read an article in the National Enquirer that says that, when your difficulties are making you emotionally upset, that's not the right time. I mean, it's the wrong time to start a new personal relationship, because it's unfair to all of the parties involved in the relationship.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
But the article was written by an expert. I mean, what do you think? I'm going to read an article on human relationships by a butcher? You see, as soon as my marriage gets straightened out, then I won't be having, emotional trouble anymore. And the article says that then it would be all right to enter a personal relationship, because then I won't be in any emotional trouble, and then I'll be able to handle a relationship and, make a contribution to it. And of course you do have my shoe.
So you can see me after you and your husband solve your problem.
Yes. Except for one thing.
What?
I think it would be a mistake.
Why?
Because that would lead to another emotional upset. And then it would be wrong again for me to be involved in a personal relationship, because I'd be very emotionally upset.
So you can't see me when you're emotionally upset. And you can't see me when you're not emotionally upset, because that might make you emotionally upset. Is that right?
Right.
So what you're saying is that you don't ever want to see me again.
Oh, no. No, I do want to see you again. I do. It's just that right now I'm having certain difficulties. I want to live properly. I want to lead the right life. And emotions and relationships and all those things that experts write about, they're just really very confusing to me. Life would really be much simpler without them.
Without emotions and relationships.
No, without experts. Listen, thanks for explaining this to me.
Sure. I'm glad to help anytime.
Bye.
Goodbye, Mary. Mary,
What?
when are you going to stop by to pick up your shoe?
And the groceries.
When will it be ready?
So much stuff happened. I'm thankful that we didn't see an assault on screen, although the working its way out of that situation could be troublesome. Don't know if those characters are going to come back, but if they do, they're going to have some baggage on them, at least in my eyes. Tom and Mary made an appointment. I hope that happens. Didn't happen today. But, time moves slowly in a soap opera. Roberta did get Grandpa to court on time, and apparently they're going to continue seeing each other by mandate of the court, not to mention, just seeing each other. The family doesn't necessarily approve. That's none of my business, to be honest. It might have been seen as strange. It might be strange. Still none of my business. And while Mary is waiting for Tom to have this important conversation in their relationship, we see a little bit of her point of view as regards Sergeant Foley, Dennis. Something something I want to point out, because it's not always obvious, or might not be obvious when you watch me watch the show, is that Mary tends to process her emotions through domestic action. Cleaning the floor is something that is how she deals with the emotional lack she's feeling. How I think it was stated, a few episodes back, that she tried to have a perfect marriage through all of the cleaning products and all of that stuff. And that's not necessarily healthy, but when you know what's going on, or at least when I know what's going on, at least I have a window to look at her through. I personally feel that Dennis is pushing a little too hard on the relationship, because, she is very clearly troubled, and he knew that, and that's not cool. As much as you like someone, or you might feel an attraction to them, they're not just a toy. They're not something for you to have fun with. They're a person, and they're going through some stuff. And he's shown signs of backing off, but he's still pushing. That was February 4th, 1976's episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Thank you for coming along, and we will see you tomorrow night in Fernwood.